I can beat him down, but that'll just be another two black people fighting on the internet. And I refuse to do that. I've talked to him privately.
See, so that was the first part that started the firestorm. I'm not sure the nature of the fullness of the nature of the relationship between Baba Smalls and Tariq Nasheed. But I do have a friend that is real good acquaintance, or he knows Baba Smalls real good. And I know a bit about, matter of fact, I learned a good bit about Baba Smalls' background and the work that he's put in for the black community, for black people across the world. But with that being said, when he made those specific statements, like I said, from my understanding, Baba Smalls and Tariq Nasheed have each other's phone number. So I'm not sure of the nature of their relationship, but when you make those type of statements, the internet is going to take that and run with it. And it wasn't even just those statements right there. It was later on when he brought in the insinuation of CIA involvement with FBA. That really set people off. But I just do want to just say that piece, that making those statements, and like I said, I don't know their relationship. And you know how some people have a relationship where, you know, they can say whatever they can say online, all those things there. So I'm not sure the nature of their relationship. But what I do know is the internet don't give a damn about the nature of their relationship, and they're gonna take it and run with it. So it's just like being more thoughtful about what you're saying, because these Thundercats on the internet gonna run with it. Here we are. PhD in the building. What's going on? Terry say he don't rock with Professor Smalls. He take. Yeah, I saw that. That's gonna be in the next clip that I saw. According to Tariq, he had Baba Smalls in the upcoming Hidden Colors movie, but since all of this happened, he's taking them out. So, and you're right, Nemesis, the internet is mature and looking for drama. Exactly. So he's saying he works. So he's saying his work is not competent, and he's one of his. Hey, look, Andre. I don't know. I just know it wasn't the best thing to say. Because look at where we are now.
I don't feel he has shown the respect he should have, given the conversations we've had about this issue. And I will find a way to even come out more publicly again. I've come out about it publicly many times.
Right, Dwarf. Yeah.
But it's a little thing, because in one way, but this internet makes it a big thing. But you got to remember, the masses of our...
See, because he just said this internet makes it a big thing. So that lets me know you have some understanding of how the internet works. So when you say that, and then you come back with what he said about, you know, alluding to maybe CIA stuff, and then starting off what he said about he's not a very good historian, but you know the internet gonna take it and run with it though. So, you know,
people ain't paying no kind of attention to Tariq. The people who go with me on the trip to Africa, the working class people, the middle class people, the retired people, they don't give a shit about that. And even the young people who go to Africa, they're already Pan-Africanists. They ain't even thinking about him. They're angry with him. And I tell them, don't be angry. Find out what is stimulating that. Because if you don't find the causation, you're not going to solve that problem. And the cause is we need to do more together.
There you go, Gabriel.
The immigrant African come to America, and the African American who've been there for the last 500 or so years have to find ways to do more together. And it isn't.
Now, y'all cooking in these comments. Y'all right. Like the internet, oh man, the internet don't give a damn about who you are. And that's one of the things too that I had this conversation with PC and Pat, because before I do certain shows, I'll go get perspective, because I be wanting to know. I go get some perspective, And that's one of the things that we were talking about is, when I learned more about who Professor Smalls was and what he did, I was like, dang, like most people I know wouldn't do half the stuff Professor Smalls did. But once again, the internet and the young folk don't care about none of that. They don't care about they don't care about his resume. They just care about the clapback. Like Nemesis said, they only care about the clapback. They care about the drama. And then a lot of this, I wonder how much a lot of this is as far as internet wise, is driven by those bots that are created to force division between people. Because that's another show I'm gonna do coming up, is about how these internet bots and these internet sites and things and fake pages and stuff are created to help push division and stuff. Now, we seen this come out of Baba Smalls' mouth, so the bots didn't start this, but to help push it. But the internet don't care about resumes. The young folk don't care about resumes. All they care about is how you made them feel in that moment. And if you didn't make them feel good, they're gonna jump on the internet. And that's why I seen videos left and right. Folk, I'm talking about, they were lighting Professor Smalls up.
Just on the new arriving Africa, it's actually more on us. We have no place where we say, here's your reception place. What do you need to get on your feet? We have a few, but nothing significant. You know what I mean? There are churches that do this in our community, but we need to have some sort of African reception kind of organization all over America. So wherever our people land, right now, our people are being brought in by the American government, the Refugee Department and the Homeland Security people, and they teach them not to come to our community.
Shout out to the Gullah Geechee.
I'm telling you the truth. There are people from the continent who come into the U.S. State Department are taught not to associate with us, that we're drug dealers and we're troublemakers and things like that. So people, you trying to survive. You just got to America, thank God, and you're trying to get a job. You think you're going to go over and mess with the dope dealer and the troublemaker? You're going to have nothing to do with them. Now, as time goes on and you learn better, you're caught in an isolated situation, and there isn't much you could do there. I remember, I didn't know this. So one of my professors.
I do want to say this, Melanated Revelation. I want to talk to more Gullah Geechee people. I do want to talk to more Gullah Geechee people and get more Gullah Geechee people on my platform to help fight back with what's going on. So I will say that. So I'm just putting that out there. I do want more people who know more about what's going on in the Gullah Geechee lands. Hit me up.
Professor Kumanweri, Perez Kumanweri, who's from Uganda, who was a friend of Malcolm, when him and a bunch of students from Uganda came to study at Columbia. And they were told never, Columbia's in Harlem, but up on the hill. So they were told never to go down the hill, that we would kill them, that they would, of course he came down the hill because that made the African brothers curious. And he married a sister from South Carolina, almost my town, Sister Carolyn. They were married about 60 years now. But Perez says, no, this is the program. And they're still doing it.
There's a creative side hustle almost nobody is talking about, and it's not content creation, being a YouTuber or a streamer.
The U.S. State Department is still instructing and informing African people who are migrating legally to the country not to have anything to do with us. And so this bitterness has a lot of little things that grow them. Our people don't want to be caught in that situation, but if the State Department is telling you that, and you're trying to get your green card and a citizenship and a job or enter college, what are you going to do? Are you going to say, I'm not listening to y'all, and be thrown back on a plane and sent back to the beginning? You're not going to do that.
Exactly.
You're going to reluctantly go along with that process. And then that process starts building. And then you got the African Americans who just play in ignorance, but we don't know how much American State Department or Justice Department is involved in Foundation of Black America. Who's getting paid the money to say what they're saying? There's a paper, it's a white paper, you could probably find it online. It was done by a man named Brzezinu Brzezinski.
So let me stop it right there and let me try to back it up just a bit, because I know I just heard what I heard. So Let me just see if it's in the right spot to play it again so we can hear everything again.
Are you gonna say I'm not listening to y'all?
Hold on, just,
and be thrown back?
Let me say.
Who's from Uganda, who was a friend of Malcolm, when him and a bunch of almost my sister Carolyn, they were married about 60 years now.
So listen to what he said about that.
So Reggie says, no, this is the problem. And they're still doing it. The U.S. State Department is still instructing and informing African people who are migrating legally to the country not to have anything to do with us.
So he said that first. That basically the government is instructing Africans coming into the continent to not rock with FBA. So he said that first. We just heard him say it. We just heard him say it twice. The State Department is instructing Africans to not rock with FBA when they come into the country. So his first part of the statement is saying that it's an insinuation of State Department involving in the Africans coming into the continent. And then he's insinuating that there's state involvement within FBA, or it could be state involvement with FBA. So that's the full breadth of it. We've heard him say that it could be involvement for the Africans coming in, and then we're going to hear him say it could be involvement for FBA. So.
Yes. And so this bitterness has a lot of little things that grow them. Our people don't want to be caught in that situation, but if the State Department is telling you that, and you're trying to get your green card and a citizenship and a job or enter college, what are you going to do? Are you going to say, I'm not listening to y'all, and be thrown back on a plane and sent back to Guinea? You're not going to do that.
Exactly.
You're going to reluctantly go along with that process. And then that process starts building. And then you got the African Americans who just play in ignorance, but we don't know how much American State Department or Justice Department is involved in Foundation of Black America. Who's getting paid the money to say what they're saying? There's a paper, it's a white paper, you could probably find it online. It was done by a man named Brzezinu Brzezinski. He was the national security director under Jimmy Carter. And his white paper, the first paragraph, he said that the policy of the United States of America, that African American and Africans should never unite politically, culturally, or economically. That is still the policy of the government of the United States. So what you're seeing ain't quite what you see, and it's only a piece of what you see. You understand what I'm telling you?
I do.
Just because they come in a black face, a black face don't mean you're the CIA, all right? A black face don't mean you ain't the FBI, okay? Wearing a dashiki don't mean you're a nationalist, okay?
So we all just heard what he said. So so the internet be wilding. The internet be wilding, man. That's the thing about these people be clipping stuff up, man. Oh man, I'm so glad I like to go back and play this stuff, man. The internet be wilding. Like it's 210 people in here. Please let's make sure we have 210 likes for this video. If it's 210 people, please get these 210 likes. But all you people, everybody who's in here, you just heard him first start off talking about the possibility of government involvement with Africans coming into the continent. And then he's talking about the possibility of government involvement within FBA. And his overall thing is, just because a person is black doesn't mean they may not be a proponent of the government or a tool of the government. So when he went to so it made more sense when he went to Dr. Ma'at why he was saying what he was saying. And we're gonna get to that next. Basically, he was saying that it could be government involvement on both sides. And the first part of what he said was not clipped up. It's just the last part of what he said was clipped up, and it was taken on the internet, and everybody ran with it. But going back to the first part of what he was saying, when he was talking about Tariq is not a very good historian and things like that. Of course, not just that, but what was just said about the possibility of FBA involvement. Possibility of FBI involvement or CIA involvement within FBA. That, but just mentioning that and the way it was clipped up, that set the internet on fire. And we just heard that. So let's let the last part play out.
Once you get clear on these things, that's why studying history is important. You'll see how Fred Hampton was killed. You see how Malcolm X was killed. They were both surrounded by agents and collaborators that looked just like us. So you can bet some foundational Black American people are agents, and even some from the African sides are agents. You know, I've seen my brothers and sisters from the continent be recruited by the State Department. And I tried to pull the coattail of their parents. But if your son is being brought to America, given a free education, who's going to listen to me?
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you that their State Department is using him. I know the particular program. It came from under USAID, and they're going to come back to your country one day, and you're going to look up, and he's going to be your governor or your president.
Hey, I'm going to say this. For some of y'all in the comments, this is not the battleground. This is not the FBA versus Pan-Africanism or African continent battleground. Y'all take that somewhere else. We don't come over here doing all that fighting. We come over here to get some understanding, do constructive conversations so we can work together and build together. We don't do all that fighting over here. Take that to somebody else's comment section. If y'all can have constructive adult conversations, this ain't the place to be.
And you won't know why he's behaving the way he's behaving. But he's got a nice house in Maryland, okay, or Virginia. Huh? I know the story, brother. I've been there a long time. So these are all of the things that's.
Some of y'all act like y'all gonna hurt my feelings because I don't want to stoke no fire, because I don't want to join in the beef. Y'all ain't gonna hurt my feelings because I don't want to join in the beef. Grow up. Dang. Y'all come over here wanting to fight and you mad at me because I don't want to join the fight with you. Grow up. This ain't the place for you. We have constructive conversations over here. We are adults over here. You better find a better way to disagree. But with that being said, we just heard what Baba Small said. We just heard the full breadth of what Baba Small said. And that's why I like to play not just clips, but enough of it that I can play. So Baba Smalls basically was saying that there's a possibility of government agents influencing both sides, both Africans coming to America and both FBA, because the segment it's called FBA Divisive Messages. And he's saying that he believes that the government is behind these FBA divisive messages. So we got clarity on the second part. of what he said.